All right, this is going to be interesting. Trying this for the first time. It's going to be really interesting. Pop this out. Put this over here. I think that's it, right? Hey, what's up, Nihilism? Oh, fuck. No. 1 second. I'm ending the stream and rename. Did YouTube end the stream? No, YouTube stream is still going. Okay, that's cool. Because I forgot to change the name and it still says. It didn't. Did end the stream. Huh. All right. Is YouTube back? I think YouTube is back, right? I had to go change a thing because I changed my YouTube title. I want to make sure everything's still the same. Open lobby, public, gaming. All right, everything is good. Yeah, so my YouTube thing still said something about birthday, and people were starting to say happy birthday, and I was like, oh, fuck, no. And I just ended the stream. I didn't want to be like, it's my birthday. That was on Saturday. I did a surprise stream on Saturday, but I didn't, and I changed my YouTube title, but I didn't change my Twitch title at all. And I was like, oh, fuck. What's up, JC? That is pretty hilarious, though. I am not going to lie. I wasn't even thinking about it. All of a sudden, people were like, happy birthday. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I literally ended the stream. Oh, yeah, I made it to Sunday. Made it to Sunday. Doesn't give you a hangover. Well, I definitely did not smoke in the morning. I was still like, you know? Yeah, nihilism. I feel that. Because a lot of people love the 2v8. And I mean, I want to be a content creator myself, and a lot of content creators are annoyed. And this isn't even like a secret because a lot of them are talking about on Twitter as well. Like every time they've extended it. But that's really who I feel the worst for is killer mains that don't like the 2v8. Because 2v8 is more casual as well. So if you're really like pushing yourself and like, you know, like someone like One Pump Willie, it just feels like cheeks for, you know. I should turn on my promo. No, it's not my birthday. I restarted the stream, I thought, didn't I? Isn't the title different? Or is the title not different? Because somebody was like, it's your birthday. I was like, wait, no, it's not anymore. And because I changed my title on YouTube, but I didn't. Oh, I did. Okay, nice. I didn't want someone like gifting subscriptions and shit like that. That's why I literally ended the stream. I was like, oh, fuck, my go live notification. We did have a surprise stream on Saturday, though. Holy shit. Kelly, holy shit. Hey, now I don't have to turn so far. This is going to be something new. So I'm using my ultra wide right now. I mean, I always use my ultra wide, but I have it in ultra wide, and then I'm going to play in windowed mode so that my chats are on my main screen. And then activity feed's still on the other screen, though. And then I'm going to try to move this, like, at some point this week, move this a bit this way and center this way. Because my throat doctor was saying that it might be because I'm always talking and looking this way, because this is where my chat screen was. They were like, that might be why it's only one side that your throat's affected by. And I was like, all right. Well, luckily I have an ultra wide that I've not been taking advantage of. Yeah, I got to raid you. I was happy because I hadn't got to raid anybody in a minute. I didn't really get to stay and chill though, because I had already streamed like. I was already like squeezing in the stream. I came home from work, watched Pistons game, and I was like, I am playing some games and hanging out with some friends. God damn it, it's my birthday. And then went to work the next day, and then that led us to today. Woo! Went to work today too, but that's for the new week. Yep, I was out on that pursuit of happiness. Excuse to play song. Me likey. I changed a few things, like I am having my, what's it called, hidden now. Like this. Put this there. And this on top. There we go. So I'm playing on my ultra wide, but I have both chats on the side of the screen. It's really interesting. You know what's funny, Ray's weights? I was going to do Payroll's guide next on the, well, not for the actual long guide. The next long guide is actually going to be Nurse, since Nurse isn't really affected by the pathing that much. But Nurse is my favorite killer to play against. I think she's the most balanced killer in the game. But that's not, I'm not just having a hot take just for the purpose of having a hot take. I'm going to stand on business. Got like 200 plus games saved against Nurse. Edit them bad boys down. Those already are edited down. I just needed to do the walkthrough, but then my PC started having issues, which looks to be fixed.
You never know.
It looks to be. I don't want to jinx it, but. Oh, okay. My bad. Jumpsuit Jake. Yeah, exactly. And you can use the edge map stuff against Nurse. Oh, there we go. Now I have the go live notification thing again. Who's it gonna play as? Yeah, healing class. No more 2v8 challenges though. What's my tome? Who did Kelly want me to play as? I don't even know who Kelly's, it's Nancy? Is it Nancy? Can't remember. I feel like Nancy's probably not right, though. It is Nancy. Okay. Gotta do jumpsuit Jake first, though, so I give Nancy a bad name. On purpose, at least. Yeah, this should be easy. P2B's still tomorrow, though, right? Even though they extended 2v8. Oh, shit. I jinxed the Pistons. I was too excited to try this ultra-wide monitor this way. Because chat is on the screen I'm playing games on. It's really interesting. But this way I don't have to turn my head like this every time I'm talking to chat. And I have YouTube on the left side and I have Twitch on the right side. But that's why I'm going to move this screen a little bit more that way and try to center this monitor. Yeah, Raise, that's the other thing too. Okay, so Pale Rose I was going to do next for a complete guide, but then they changed the docs and it was like, oh. Like, I don't know why they changed bad docs. That docs wasn't even that good anyway. And then they had 4 windows and it wasn't good. Like, one of the windows was decent. And the other windows were like in the lane where you had to get the running vault. You know? And then the other window was sucked unless the killer didn't know what you were doing. Where it had just like the window and then like a half wall. And then you had to like run this way until the killer comes around the corner and then try to vault back and try to make it back to that other window. But they split that into 2 different variants of docs now. One has like that window and this window, and the other one has like this window and this window instead of all 4. But you can't really connect either of them to either other ones, so they basically just now have 2 awful windows. Strong docs got split into 2 different variants of docs, I believe. And mid docs, they just took 1 window away. But it was like, okay, well, can't do a walkthrough on that yet until I get more clips. I mean, I could. I just need more examples. I have enough examples, actually. Like, I probably could do on each docs. But, you know what I mean? Because you'll be like, try this, and then you get, like, every other killer that's not that killer. It didn't work the way you said it. PTB is still tomorrow. Let's go. 2-room, which... What, Scooby-Doo? Which room? Panda? Hey, what's up, gaming? What's up, Sticks? Temple, there's a bunch, but Temple, all you really need to know about is whichever window you get, you have the window diagonally across from it. It's like, you know, when you go up the main stairs and you either get the one on the left or right. If you get the one on the left, then you also have the far one on the right. Or if you get pushed around the other way. If you have the one on the left, then you have the one on the far right. Now, there's one version that has 3. It's the one... You have to have a window on the right if you're coming up the main stairs, because you have the one on the right, the far left, and then you have the one over the altar on the right side. That's the strongest version, but... Most important thing, though, whichever window you get, you have the other one diagonally across from it. Mother's Dwelling, they just changed in the one before. This was the same thing, where I was like, oh, I could. I just need to do, like, short versions where it's just 1 or 2 examples and shit. That's what I need to do. And I can work on longer versions later, you know what I mean? Like... Because I was just thinking about that. I was like, I should just get some more short thingies out. I want to do that Nurse one, though. Because so many people hate playing against Nurse and think Nurse has, like, no counterplay. Like, Nurse is, like, literally my favorite killer to play against in the whole game. Because Nurse is the only killer where if you don't... If there's no pallets and there's no windows, you might not be fucked still. Every other killer, you're fucked. Yeah, TV room on Leary's. Oh, my dumbass. Just realized. And no respect. Run! About to be hindered, though. Hindered I am. And make it. No, I'm hindered. Hey, we made it hindered. Let's go. Yeah, let's go greed this. Oh, we got lucky. We're winning all them 50-50s. Sometimes you just win all them 50-50s. Greed is good, and more importantly, well, greed, fun is subjective, but greed is fun. What's up, Owl? What's up, Ghostface? I'm face first in a Wraith again. No. Skill burst. Clip Kenny's. I have the thing on, right? I do. Kenny's. I might have to move it over a little bit. This is kind of trippy in a fun way, having chat on the exact same screen. But it felt so bad for years looking at the ultra wide and just having black bars on the left and right. When it started having throat issues, I think it was literally, since it was only on the one side, I think it was literally just because I was always talking this way. Now I can see it on my screen. But it is funny being able to see chat on my same screen. Bum, 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 bum. Getting all these unhooked. Fuck, they're gonna come here though. Where? Where comes the stealth Wesker? I think that's by far what I run into the most in 2v8 is Shadow Wesker. There we go. You can make it one word and eliminate one of the W's. Shadow Wesker. Which one did you take the W away from? Shadow or Wesker? Nobody can tell. Oh, it's still gonna be there. Jack goes hard. The 1 mil. I got good news on an MRI last year that it was not a ligament issue. Use the power. Oh, you got fucked over though. We shouldn't have eaten all that. That feels like this is one of those things that'd be different in the 2v8 than the 1v4. Oh, shit. I was like, I can't move. Oh, right. Cries and killer Q, yep. So I do love 2v8 called rest, but obviously there's issues. You can't, because without explanation it sounds so stupid, right? Because my fix to the killer Qs with 2v8, it would be make it permanent. It sounds stupid as fuck, doesn't it? Because you can't just make it permanent. It has to do more things than just make it permanent. Make it permanent and make it free to play for survivors only in the 2v8. So if you wanted to get friends to try DBD but didn't want to spend money or this or that, or thought it was going to be too scary or something like that, you're like, no, come play 2v8. You know, it's free. You can just download it and play the 2v8. And if you really like it, then you can buy the game where you can play either killer in the 2v8 or you can play 1v4 at all. Like you can play survivor or killer in the 1v4. Because the novelty would wear off. Like there's a lot of people. Like this time I didn't really get to, but a lot of time, except for last time. Last time was the first time I didn't. But every other time I played 2v8. Damn, I should have thrown that just for fun. But every other time I played 2v8, I had somebody I wanted to play killer with like every single day, so we never got to do open lobbies. So the last time the 2v8 came out, we just did open lobbies the whole time. Yeah, the hackers is the one thing I don't have an issue, or not an issue with. I have an issue with, obviously. I don't have an answer for. Because they're like, then there would just be 8 million hackers in every fucking 2v8, and it's like, yeah. Because it would just get easier access to go hack only in the 2v8. I was like, yeah, that is a good point. I don't have an answer to. Come on, vote the window. Oh, Z-wall. You know, going anywhere? Gotcha. Oh my god. He called my bluff. Oh, it's Wraith. I don't give a fuck about Hatch. I want a Z-wall 1v1. It's a warm-up game. That's like the best way to try to get your positioning, which I did terrible at. Z-walls are the 1v1. Oops. You well played. What I mean is like the novelty would wear off, so I think it would help if it was permanent. The players like me that are Survivor main, that when it would come out every time except that last time, I was literally playing with like somebody every single time. So I was basically only playing killer. Now I was playing games while waiting. I was playing on Nintendo Switch because I want to make a compilation on that. The first one I'm doing compilation is getting chased by 2 killers compilation because survivors don't like that for some reason. And I'm like, well, it's both killers are either wasting time on you, no matter how long it lasts. It's like quadrupled because both killers are wasting time on you while 7 other survivors do who knows what, you know? Obviously not later in the game, but even later in the game, it's fun to try to hold their... Then every time you win even one 50-50 that works on both of them, it feels like 10 50-50s just worked, you know? It's awesome. It's so much fun. But the other one I was going to do was how we used to play while we waited, but on Nintendo Switch while we were waiting for a killer game. I would do open lobbies, and we had some really fun chases on that as well, because it's just Survivor. It's just running in circles, you know? But it was still funny that I'm like, you can literally... Because Nintendo Switch, holy shit. It's not even... Because it looks like DBD by Tim Burton, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is, like, not even the frames. The frames isn't even the worst part either. But the worst part is the input delay. Like, when you get a skill check, you have to press the button, like, 10 times earlier than you do on PC. It's nuts. Like, you have to press everything so much earlier. There's just, like, an input delay. I don't know why. Because it's not on the other games on the Switch, so I know it's not like, that's just Nintendo Switch. It's like, no. Because when I load up Metroid Dread, it's just fine. There's no input delay. It's literally DBD on the Switch. I don't know why it does that, but you still have some fun chases though, because Survivor's just running around in circles, you know. So I wanted to have a compilation on that. Especially because 2v8 got extended another week. I was like, all right, I'll make both of those videos this week. I'll put out some shorts too. It's funny, I'm like, I smoked too much weed over the weekend, and I smoked like 1.6 grams in 2 days. But it's more than I'm used to. Man, somebody who was it on the birthday stream came in and they literally just looked at her. They're like, "You are fried." I was like, "I know I smoked that last weed. That shit is fucking good." Remember when I was bragging about that weed for like 4 months, but I still have like a bunch of it left over. I just got more weed because it was about to be more expensive. But that weed that they had a first-time customer discount, so I got more expensive weed for the same price that I normally like buy. Oh my god. Yeah, that shit is fire. That was hilarious. I ate some edibles yesterday, but even yesterday I ate a little bit more than I expected to. So I have these cheesy poofs that I got for free, and serving size said about 3 pieces. You know, so I was thinking, and there's what was there? Because they have 32, and I was like, what? Or something like that. Because I think it said serving size about 10 or something like that. But apparently, like, technically a serving size is 2.8 pieces or something like that. So, long story short, I was either gonna do like, because normally I eat 3, but I had 8 left, and I was like, well, I either eat 3, and 2 like on different weeks, or I was like 3 today, 3 like in a week or something, you know, like that, and then 2, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna eat 4 and 4. So I ate 4 yesterday, and watched Cool Runnings, because the Olympics was closing ceremonies. Yo, the Jamaican bobsled team made the Olympics this year too. And like those guys, the real guys in real life that Cool Runnings is based on, they're like still heavily involved, and they're like, it's not over yet until we win a medal or something. I just pathed terribly. But maybe I can still make this because this window is strong. Until he breaks the thing. Yes, we can. So even if you path terribly, that window's still strong. Let's go. I mean, it's still strong. We all knew that, but are you coming around this way? No, you're not. I'm kind of happy you opened that, though. Not gonna lie. Hey. You're allowed to come this way, sir. It's blocked now. There we go. Hey, I love this song. Yeah, I like that he opened this because now you, which I don't know what the other killer is, but if they push you on the back way, you can run right into the window. It kind of sucks when they're both closed. Now Wraith, if he's cloaked, he can kind of corner you out there, but you also have a pallet right there. So Wraith, it's not the worst idea really to open those with that corner in purpose. So I guess for Wraith can open it, it'd be fine. Like, it definitely helps more than it hurts. Other killers, that's not the case. Other killers are leave these doors closed. But that's what I mean by, like, every killer works differently, so you can be like, use this loop, it works great. And then you, first killer you get against, it doesn't work great. And it's not even because of you, it's literally... I'm not teabagging, I was literally crouching in case he whipped. Oh god. Swing at this. He did. Let's go. Double back. No! Swing at this again. Damn it. I wonder if his, because it did not look laggy or anything like that. Oh yeah, it might be. He might be like 100 milliseconds. Because it swung so late, and I was like, he might be on rough ping. And he was around 100 right then. I definitely should have got hit there. That's why I was like, I'm not being like, what is that? It's like, no, I definitely should have. It was just for how late the whip happened. I was like, it's probably lower ping. What's up, Viper? Good point. Is there a way to look at the voice mods on the voice mod app? It does have tons, but I can't use the AI ones. Every time I tried, it would like not work. And I couldn't figure out why. This is that digital math guy. That's like an electrical engineer. I don't think I can grab that without giving an infection away. You can't get, sorry, I missed that, but you can't get vaults after, falling anymore. We were talking about that the other day. You used to be able to get a really cool running vault that Absolve Live showed me on Mother's Dwelling. That's why you're talking about Mother's Dwelling and Temple for a sec. Temple didn't get changed. Mother's Dwelling did. You can't get the God windows, either of them anymore in 1v4, only in 2v8. It's still useful because I have a bunch of clips. So even for 2v8, it'll still be useful for the looping guide. But you can only get the front window because you were always guaranteed a window underneath where the gen is on that rooftop area. You're always guaranteed a window there before and still. And if you got, there was, on top of that window, you would have a 50% chance of getting a God window back then. Now you don't have any God window, but this is just how it worked before. Oh. But, hey, let's go to F-Punt. It would always be the God windows, just like Temple of Purgation. It would always be diagonally across from it, if you got a God window. It was just good to know because if you were running in and you didn't know which small window you had. Oh my god, I thought they double back. Skill burst saved me. So you want to see the other killer? You used to be able to walk across that whole thing. It was awesome. Killers could too. That was one of my favorite Easter eggs on the whole game. And then all of a sudden, one update, you couldn't do it anymore. But I liked that type of thing because it didn't benefit you at all if the killer knew about it. And same thing, if you didn't know about it and the killer did, the killer benefited. You still run it the exact same way anyway. It was just cool that you could run all the way across. It did look whack though. I figured it would get taken out at some point, but it was in for years. They took it out like a year-ish ago, and it was sad. Because that was probably going to be my intro for for family residence. It was like, this spot back here is hilarious. This spot, yeah, so I was saying how you run back and you make it to that window. I was like, this spot alone has gotten me to that window before, just because I knew, and the killer didn't. But then I also had clips, and I was like, but on the other end, there's times where I was running this way, and then the killer pushed me back, and the killer knew to walk all the way across because I was at the checkpoint, and he realized in time. But because they knew the cut across, they got to hit me before, just barely, as I made that window. And I was like, God damn it. That's what I mean by that. It could help the killers as well. Even in this area where I knew about it, and the killer knew about it, but it still helped the killer. But that's cool. I like that type of stuff. Where is the Nemesis? Here we go now. Aw, come on. He's running Shadow as Wraith. That is very interesting. How you like that, nerd? Fence value. You see, I was just talking about how you can use the back here, and you can use that fence over there. I love this map. There's 3 different main buildings too. But you can still do the same shit, basically. This is what I mean. I wish I could just do all the guys. I should just do like very short versions. Get them all dead and then work on the long ones later, you know? I could do that. I was not going to make that lunge. We were out of position for that. Or, vault. I mean. They did extend it again, though. Sticks was taken. Yeah, I'm sorry, nihilism. That's what I mainly feel bad for. Killers that don't like the 2v8, so they only, and not just because of queue times, but like genuinely don't like the 2v8. They're like, nah, I like something more focused on kind of like a party game. I still kind of think DBD is a party game. It can be played competitively, obviously. I'm not saying it's not comp. I'm just saying, like, I still kind of think of it as a party. At least pubs, I kind of still think of as a party game. Yeah, the long ones I wanted to have first just because I wanted references, but they're taking me too long to make. What I mean by references is so, like, if you go to one of the short guides and you're like, I tried this on artist and it didn't work, and it's like, well, yeah, with artists you have to run this way and then do this and that, you know? That way you could just go to the long guide, type in artist, and be like, oh, here we go. Or control F artist, you know what I mean? Hey, Mad Trapper. Dude, thank you so much, mate. What survivor do you want me to play? I already played Jumpsuit Jake. You haven't done anything too stupid this game, like we did the first game. I thought he would go for it. I pretty much just got a whole W here. Big goofy turnaround twice, but that's just because I'm bad. I would have not got. I would have gotten hit. Oh shit! Oh my goodness! He took a hit to pull it off. What a fucking G! Zombie's right there. There's two zombies over here. They got a fucking zombie value. I guess as well. The fucking zombies, dude, they're hilarious. Wizard. Oh god. We just got the zombie away. It's so sage. Oh, nice. I figured we were both on death like. Hey, it was close. I forgot. Holy frame rate. Oh, there's 3 different main buildings. We were doing some of that shit earlier, Thouth. The VODs are public too if you want to go back and look, but mainly because neither of them or none of them are like cookie cutter. That's the thing. Yeah, there's always like a few different things you have to think about. But the secret weapons are the back corners, like this back here, running through for that window either way, and that corner over there with the fence. Those are the secret weapons. But there's 3 versions. The version A, or what I call version A, is when you have the window there by the stairs. And then you see where this window is here, and that open door is there across from this window. Across the hall where that open door is, that's where you get the window. So it's window there and window there. Main B, this is main C, at least how I look at it. Like, what do we do here? Not too. I had some big goofy turnarounds over there, but I was going down anyway, so I wasn't even really thinking about it. I was just kind of on the other side of the fence. Hopefully the zombies wandered off at least a little bit. I'm committing. Come chase me a back window. I don't think we get this in time. But it'll force them all the way over here, at least one of them. Damn it. Yes. Oh shit. There is El Wraith. Yeah. Woo. I was getting fucking carried. Let's go. And then I got the pity hole. I mean skill door. That's hilarious. You can eat. I wasn't infected yet. Nihilism. It's funny, I've never used Save the Best Last on them. The only thing I really have put on them was End Fury, and they're talking about changing that on killers like him specifically, and it's like... I thought it was kind of a meme. Oh, was it a single trial? No, it's not. No, that's good. Oops, my bad. I thought that was the thing that was saying someone was joining. That's all good, Warky. That's the fun thing about DBD. You can play perfect and still have everything go wrong. You can do every play you wanted to make and just lose every single 50-50. Who did Mad Trapper want me to play? Mad Tarper. Oh, you said keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. This is the good thing is the chat's a little bit smaller, but it's longer.
Where are you?
But so I can like see more, but I have to look a little bit harder at it. To our awesome David who gave Hey, trash talk is fun. I love talking trash. I just think it's a waste of time in an in-game chat. He's just trying to get into another game as fast as possible. Hey, ML motherfucking T. Trying to think if we can play with MLT on like Monday or something. Now that it got extended. The 2v8. There's a few people as well, obviously. Like, I don't know if Kelly is over the... Because a lot of people can just be over the 2v8 and be like, no, I don't want to play any more 2v8. I love the 2v8, though. I'm not going to lie. I just sit here and listen to music and play Survivor. It doesn't matter anywhere near as much if I wasn't paying attention and got my weave snatched off the gen. But I can't listen to music in 1v4. If I get my weave snatched, I'll make it put in basement because of it, and the game's over now. You know, shit like that. Most of the time it doesn't matter either, but there's no basement in the 2v8 either. That's like the only time I feel like kind of bad, and I'm like, damn, I should have been paying attention more. But even then, like, I'm not losing any sleep over it. That's why I like getting in the next game. The second the next game starts, I don't give a shit about what happened last game. Unless somebody wants to trash talk about it. That's why we have that one game rule. If someone comes in salty or wants to trash talk about that last game, they can for a whole game. We'll talk about last game. If they want to, because trash talk is fun. But once this game's over, it's like, all right, that was 2 games ago. Like, you can keep talking trash. I love trash talk. It's a lot of fun. But you got to keep it current. We're not talking about 2 fucking games ago. Yeah, that's why I don't even, it's the same reason with endgame chat. I'm just like, well, it's fun while the game's going on. You know how I'm talking trash? I'm always talking trash as if we're sitting in the same room, because that's how we were. Playing basketball, playing Mario Party, playing Smash Brothers, playing 007 on fucking GameCube. What was it? What were the 2? GoldenEye and Agent Under Fire and Nightfire. Those 2. I remember this. Still talking trash. It's like heartwarming. We can't talk trash at work. But playing video games ain't work. It's like when they teabag first, it's strange, but it really warms my heart. I'm like, hey, they're exercising their freedom. Because we can't have bad manners, BMs, you know, bad manners. We can't have bad manners at work. You're not supposed to have bad manners in real life in general, you know? I mean, you're supposed to have to be the bigger person, but this ain't real life. That's what's fun about it. Aw. It must have kicked me off of heal class at some point. And I didn't notice. Because I usually play heal class on all my survivors. And I was playing Arella before. Yeah, when it's like maxed out when you join a lobby. It just forces you off. I wasn't paying attention to this. I went to use my thing and I'm like, what the fuck? Which class is this? Is this the Blastmine class? Yeah. It is. Here it come now, said Billy, Billy. Kick it, Billy. Aw, big Sag. I meant to vault that. That's hilarious. My skill is shooting actually benefited off of that non-remappable button. See, like this. I don't know why people hate this. I'm like, we had one killer standing still this whole time. Another killer ran all the way up here. That's actually what I kind of felt bad for when I was playing with Lotus, because we were doing that a few times, but one of the games we did, I was trying to do that too many times with Wraith. I'm like, hey, I have someone stuck here if you want to free, because he was playing Billy. I was like, if you want to free down, I have someone stuck here. But one of the matches, I feel like I kind of threw it, because I was trying to do that for Lotus too many times. Lotus didn't give a shit. He wasn't making me feel bad in any way, shape, or form. He was having a great time. But we still got a few kills. We got a ton of hooks and shit. It was just one of those, like, this would probably been an 8K if I didn't, like, be like, hey, I got a free one for you. Let me hold him here, you know? When you're close by each other, it's definitely good. And it's way more fun. That's the thing, right? What's fun? And Lotus was having fun. So that's, like, that's another reason why it's like, who cares? But that's the type of shit that's fun. You can't do that in the 1v4. But that's also just preference of playstyle, right? Like greening pallets. Would it be more productive and guarantee less hits if all I did was go pre-dropping and shit? Probably. I just have way less fun that way. And then you get, like, you do not have opportunities like you do when you do greed, where you can just, like, keep looping the same fucking pallet 14 times in a row. You know? That does not happen if you just pre-drop pallets. Is he undetectable? I don't think so. Oh, that's funny. So you go into pubs with a 4-stack, and then you, like, you're playing against the killer, but also playing against your friends, so you last the longest and shit. That's hilarious. Or going for, like, sandbags. He's waiting for Billy. No, Billy would one-shot down. Oh, yeah. Kenan is carrying me. Last game, too. Goddamn. I jumped down right into Billy's arms. If I had that moment where you're standing up there, or anywhere on any other map where it has similar scenario where you're in a safe spot, standing up there, standing up there, standing up there, standing up there, and you're like, well, I just feel useless just standing here. Let me jump down, and right when you jump down, they're just like right there, and you're like, I should have been up there being useless. On Ghostface. You get that like weird stuck in air motion for a second, like rebound off of it. Where's the foul, ref? Dude was all over me. Tony Brothers, man. That's like, I mean, everybody loves Bill Kennedy the most, and same with me. Bill Kennedy's the best ref, but Tony Brothers is the only ref that's ever been suspended. He was suspended with pay, so basically the league looked at it, said, "You're right, you were just being cranky, so you're suspended for 1 game with pay." Because one player that was whining really hard, and does whine pretty hard, Spencer Dinwiddie, was whining, and when he walked away, one of the other players, or that ref, the one I'm talking about, Tony Brothers, got suspended because he went to Dinwiddie's teammate and told him, he was like, tell him to stop being a bitch ass motherfucker. So, but the league looked at it, and the league suspended him with pay for 1 game. So he basically got a night off. This shit's hilarious. But the thing is like players can vote on their favorite refs and their least favorite refs. So Tony Brothers was both voted the second most popular ref and was also the least popular ref. So it's all the players that like whining for calls, he's their least favorite ref. And the players that like playing tough and like, you know, playing through contact and shit like that, they're all like, yeah, Tony Brothers. But I don't think I've ever seen that type of spread where you're the second most popular but also the least popular. That's fucking hilarious. Also, what's up, Bleezy? How you doing? Maybe. Hey, at least hit the skill checks. Didn't really change anything, but... Yeah, that didn't care for contact. Because it goes faster, too. You know, a fucking 3.5-hour basketball game with, like, 80 free throws between the two teams. And, like, the other team always has... It's funny, because the Pistons average one of the most free throws of any team in the league. It's like 3rd. But we don't have any floppers or anything. We just play really physical. Because the funny thing... And we don't even care most of the time, but, like, a huge, overwhelming majority of the games, the other team gets more free throws than we do. Well, most of the time we don't care because like we play more physical, we do foul more, you know. But it's just funny, but because like we also don't settle for jump shots and we don't go flopping for calls and stuff. We just drive the lane and shit all the time. No, but Chucky's over here. This is what if I was full health. Fuck it. It's a video game. Who gives a shit if we die? Might have should have did this earlier though. We might both die anyway. Run! You'll make it out for haste. Run! You have endurance. Oh my god. Oh my god! Worth it. Let's go. That's why you stick around. I mean, a lot of times it could backfire, but that was worth. I was like, fuck it, it's a video game. Who gives a shit if we die? It's like the same thing in Green and Palette. It's a video game. Who gives a fuck if they don't respect it? The upside of if they do respect it outweighs the damn they didn't respect it, you know? Your coach didn't like you and get you thrown out? That sucks. Like, give him a red. Feels like coach should be doing the opposite. There we go. All right, after this game, I got to reset the lobby. Everybody can rejoin, too. You can play as many games as you want. But usually, once we get full, I reset it. So, because if somebody just got here and they've never been here before, well, it says open lobbies, I know, but it's still the same thing. If they're like, well, it's full, like, when do they reset? And it's just immediately reset. And it's like, okay. Every other time before that, they look and they see an open spot, and it's like, hey, can I join? And you're like, hell yeah. Like, we can literally even get the exact same amount of, like, the exact same people. It doesn't matter to me. I just usually reset it to give people a chance, you know? Right, once we get full. We could literally, all 7 of these peeps could rejoin the next game if they want. No matter to me. Oh shit. I usually didn't like the dude either. So that's a funny thing. The Pistons are getting more popular around the league for like the funniest reasons. So Cade Cunningham on last Monday, we're about to have a few rough games though. We're playing like the 3 best teams in the league. Well, now we're one of the best. We actually have the best record in the league, but we don't have Beef Stew, which is probably our second best defensive player. He's my favorite player though, but he got suspended for throwing a punch at somebody, but everybody loved this guy for throwing a punch at specifically who he threw a punch at and why. So Jalen Duren got into it with I don't remember what his name was, but the guy got mad at Jalen Duren and got up in Jalen Duren's face and like shoved his forehead in Jalen Duren's face. So Jalen Duren took his hand like this and like shoved his head off him like this, like get out my face. And then so that guy like lost his fucking mind. And then, like, was trying to throw punches at Jalen Duren and wouldn't stop. And he kept trying to throw punches, and Jalen Duren's just like, man, get out my face. And so Jalen Duren got 2-game suspension, and that guy got 4-game suspension because that guy was throwing a bunch of punches and got in Jalen Duren's face in the first place. And Jalen Duren got the 2 games for taking his face and shoving it like that, like, get out my face. And then Miles Bridges is the guy that everybody hates. The whole league hates Miles Bridges, and that's because he pled no contest to domestic violence where he abused the mother of his 2 kids in front of his 2 kids. And so he had like 5 years probation because he pled no contest. But everybody's like, man, this guy should be in like prison. But he pled no contest, so he got 5 years probation. So he's allowed to play in the league even though he's on probation. What the fuck? Oh. I'm looking at Slinger. I'm like, where the fuck? That's hilarious. I was even like, why am I exposed? Yeah, a real shithead, right? But this is the thing, was just like you would expect Miles Bridges to do, right? While all that fight was going on and Jalen Duren kept trying to walk away and get away from it, Miles Bridges walks around the huge crowd of people and tries to throw a sucker punch at Jalen Duren, which is why he got suspended 4 games as well, right? Because exactly what you would expect from Miles Bridges, right? Walk around, try to slick under, and then try to sneak in a punch at Jalen Duren, who's not looking, right? And you can go look at this. I'm not making this shit up. This is all on YouTube. You can see this. This is why they all got suspended. And then after that, Stu was not getting involved, which everybody was kind of surprised at, because Stu is like the fighter, the guy that's been in a bunch of altercations and shit. But Stu never starts it. This is why people don't really hate Stu. They just kind of think he's funny.
Thank you.
As opposed to like Lou Dort or Draymond Green and shit like this that do shit that's like either dirty or just like always instigating. Stu never instigates. He just finishes. Like if somebody does some shit to Stu, he's gonna turn around and, you know, that's why we all like Stu. He doesn't take no shit. We all love it. Everybody loves it. That's what Cade said too. Because somebody put Cade in a tough spot in the All-Star game. They were like, would you be willing to pay Isaiah Stewart's fine for his missed games? And he was like, hell yeah. He was like, I would love Stu. Would never ever trade Stu for anybody in the world. You know, and it was just like, hell yeah. But okay, so sorry. The reason everybody else likes Stu right now, specifically, because everybody knew Stu was like the fighter that doesn't take shit. But Stu was sitting on the bench, and the reason he got the most games is when there's an altercation happening at all, if any players leave the bench area, even if it's just to help split people up, you get suspended. Right? Like, that's the problem. And they do that because they do not want you leaving the bench to add to the altercation. So that's the rule. You automatic suspension if you leave the bench area during an altercation. Even if you didn't even go near the altercation, all you did was like walk out on the court for a second, you're suspended. Right? Beef was on the bench when he saw Miles Bridges throw the cheap shot at Jalen Duren, and he took off at Miles Bridges. And started throwing punches at him. Miles Bridges went down low. He was hitting at him, Miles Bridges, because Miles Bridges tried to take him down. But the thing is, like I said, is everybody hates Miles Bridges. And Beef got suspended 7 games for that. Because you're already suspended for leaving the bench, even if you're trying to help break up the altercation. Running into the altercation to throw some punches. Like, I was afraid he was going to get suspended like 10 games. It was like, fuck. Some people were saying it might be 25, and I was like, no way. I was afraid it might be 10. That's what I was really scared of. But that's why we don't have beef for... And yeah, worth it. That's the thing. Like, it was really funny how many people you were seeing come out and like into the Pistons Reddit, and it was like on the NBA Reddit and on Twitter and stuff, and in YouTube comments, like everybody was like, yeah, beef stew. And the funny thing was the other team's announcers announced Beef Stew. They said Beef Stew too, like actually said his nickname when he got involved, because he came flying. He wasn't even on the screen, and all of a sudden you just see him flying in, still in his like sweats, and because when you're on the bench, you put your warm-ups back on. So he was on his warm-ups, like in knee pads and shit, because he always has knee warmers on the bench because he wants to take care of his body. So he literally is running on the court in these knee warmers and like and sweatshirt for the running right at him, and like the announcer for their team was doing the play-by-play of what's happening, and when all of a sudden Isaiah Stewart runs on, he's like, and Beef Stew, and everyone was joking that it sounded like he was entering the Royal Rumble. Was he gonna want the free down? I'm just gonna be exposed. That's funny. I should have waited to use that, but Ghostface coming back. I lied. He's coming back now.
I owe you.
Oh, God damn it. Run the bush. I think I'm 99 though. That's the thing. It's like I might as well fucking stay injured.
You won't die on my watch. I need you to stop moving, okay?
But yeah, that's why Isaiah Stewart's suspended. Jalen Duren was suspended those last 2 games as well. We actually have an amazing third string center. People didn't. He's whose jersey I want. They haven't had it available in the store, and like you can buy custom jerseys and make it their number and whatever and shit like that. But the reason I don't like to do that is because they don't make it. Because the whole reason I like buying jerseys anyway is they make some money off of it. It's like, well, they're making millions of dollars, and it's like not all of them are making millions of dollars. Number one, most of them are, obviously, to be fair. But this is also like the only time really a lot of them make money. A lot of them go broke too, because a lot of people, a lot of like friends and family and stuff like this are like, oh, you're like super rich, and they mooch off them, and then they feel bad not giving them money because this is your friend and your family. You know what I mean? And then like most players end up going broke, and like that's what I mean by I'm like I like buying jerseys, but most of the time I don't even. And I have like Kate Cunningham's jersey and shit like that too. But that's why I wanted B-Ball Paul's jersey. I haven't seen it available in the store yet. I think I saw it last year though. And like what we mean by we have like the best third string center is he was getting offers to play on other teams, but he really liked our team, so he stayed in Detroit to come off the bench and like not even play a lot of games. Hello, Slingy. Run the straight line. Oh, shit. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, is like, if you're making $5 million a year, which is, if you're coming off like I think that's what B-Ball Paulo is making, which is more than the league minimum, but he has won us multiple games for people being hurt. And like specifically, we play really physical, so every now and then Jalen Duren or Isaiah Stewart gets in foul trouble, and then we need B-Ball Paul minutes, and he always plays great. But people don't even like know who he is, so they don't know that he can shoot. They don't know how physical he is because he's technically an undersized center. But he was MVP of the G League, which is the NBA developmental league. Like when a lot of times when you sign somebody in the second round of the draft, those players will be like two-way players. We just converted one into a standard contract actually, so he's no longer a G League player at all. When you're on two-way contracts, there's only a maximum amount of games you can play with the team. So you're forced to either not play them anymore and send them back down to G League or sign them to a standard contract, which is what we did with Dana Jenkins. Also, what's up, Foxter? 55 stream streak. That's almost 3 months, actually. It's like, that's almost 2 months. And it's like, no, because I only stream 5 days a week. Only stream 5 days a week. I wish I was a full-time content creator, because that's what it sounds like, but... Nope, this is just playing games time. If I'm playing games, I'm going live. That's what I did on Saturday. It was one of those scenarios where it's like I worked a double, but it's my birthday and I want to play some video games, goddammit. You gotta be careful because it's slingy. My B-Day was on Saturday, yeah. And it was funny because when I went live, I accidentally had the title Still, I forgot. I changed the YouTube one, but I forgot to change the Twitch one. So I ended the stream and then restarted it with that because I didn't want to be like, it's my birthday bash and go live notification. I was like, oh fuck, so I ended the stream and then restarted it. It was funny. Yeah, I streamed a late stream on Saturday because got home, watched the Pistons game, got home around 8:30, watched the Pistons game, and then streamed after that, and then took a shower because that was the funny thing. I was like, all right, I need to end because I need to take a shower, and then Chronic raided, and I'm like, oh fuck. I love Chronic. Chronic's an amazing guy. Definitely not complaining. It was just funny. I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, well, I've been exhausted at work before. I've been exhausted and hung over at work tons of times. I don't drink anymore, but that's because a hangover feels like it fucking kill me nowadays. But alcohol, I was completely sober for like 14 months, and I haven't done anything else but weed since that 14 months. So I don't drink alcohol anymore either. Kind of became an issue in Times Square. Not like an issue, but like you would hook up the other bartenders and they would hook you up. But when I went to their place, I didn't drink anymore. So they were like trying to sneak me food from the kitchen, but that's like that's 10 times more difficult. That's why I would a lot of times like go to the Dutch Fred's because I got punched in the face there once, and then didn't like call the police or press charges or anything like that. I didn't give a shit. I had all my teeth. Those drunk fucks. I don't know what they were thinking. Not like they messed with me. That's the funny thing though. I was with 5 other guys and they got messed up. And they had security come in to throw those guys out already because they were not being served. But they came over and spilled our drinks. I said, go back to that side of the bar and sit down. They're going to deal with you in a second. And they went back to their side of the bar and sat there for like half an hour, and that's when they started calling security to get them out. And then they just came up and just punched me in the face, like tapped me on the shoulder. Literally, I turned, I got punched in the face. There's 2 guys and 2 girls, and it was the girl. And I stand up off the bar stool, and I was like, if you weren't a girl, you'd be on the fucking floor right now. And then right as I'm finishing that, her guy punches me in the face. And that's when I look at him, and that's when all 5 guys jumped off of the fucking bar stool and took this guy to the ground. That shit was hilarious. Right as security's getting there, too. Because then they were drunk, but they were trying to get me thrown out because I was laughing. Because I can show you how this bar looks like. This shit's funny. Right outside Times Square. But it's the same owner as the Mean Fiddler. Mean Fiddler and Dutch Fred. This bar, I can show you what I'm saying about the mirrors, because they have some mirrors right here, right? Can I get yeah, here, I guess here. You don't see the mirrors in here, but they were here on these 4 seats, and we were sitting down there, like by where the actual register is. Because we walked in and they were already there. They were just sitting here, we're like, what's up with them? And they're like, oh, we're not serving them. They're too drunk. You know, it was like, okay. And we were sitting there. This was the day after Christmas, because then I went to work the next day, and my manager was like, you okay? You look like you got punched in the face. Like, he was just thinking I was like hungover or something. I was like, I did. And he was just like, do you need, we can fill, like, someone can stay if you, I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, but this is where I was happy. We were over there, and there was like all 5 of us, right, or 6 of us, me and these other 5 guys. Angel, who's that with? Sebastian, Angel. Angel was from next door. Alejandro. Fuck, who else was there? Alex, who was barback with us. Angel was actually a server next door at the W Hotel. There's somebody else there. Who else was there with us? Oh, Zero. Yeah, there we go. And so, but like I said, we were over here, and this is when they got thrown out. But there's mirrors right here, right? It was funny, the lighting changed right here too. When they punched me, and these guys were like dealing with all that. So I went up to this mirror right here, and I looked. I'm just looking. And I was like, because I'm drunk, you know. You don't know if you like, because I didn't feel like I got punched super fucking hard. Like I'd be knocked out if I was, right? But you're still drunk. You're like, maybe I could be missing a tooth or something. You're like, and that's when I was like, hey, I got all my teeth. Like, nothing bad that happened. And then these guys, here's security, like, trying to drag these people out. They're like, he's laughing. And I was like, ah. I started waving by. And I remember them telling me, they're like, to be fair, they're like, you might want to, like, take a cab home. They're like, because they were Australian people, so they definitely weren't around there. But he was like, people are, you never know when people are crazy. He was like, they didn't look like the type to do this type of thing. He was like, but sometimes people will be, like, waiting for you on the block, waiting for you to leave a bar. Like, so you might want to take a cab home. Okay. But what the funny thing about that is, and why the reason I had to tell this story, because like I said, once you stop drinking, people had to start getting you food. But they always got me food because I didn't call the cops or press charges, because if I'd had to do anything like that, they would have had to go look at all the cameras and talk to the police, and like it would just caused a huge headache with a bunch of extra work. But I didn't give a fuck. I had on my teeth. I would have called the police if I didn't have my tooth. So I'd be like, I want a gold tooth right here. I don't want to even get them to get jail time or anything either. I just want a gold tooth right there, the one I'm missing. That's why I was looking in the mirror. I was like, am I gonna get a gold tooth? But yeah, that was a fun night. But every time I went in after that, they'd always call me like Chuck Norris and shit. Like I was like some killer. Look at this guy. And then they'll like exaggerate to the regulars. They're like, we saw this guy take out like 6 people that jumped him at the bar. And it's just like, and like every time they tell the story, we just get more over the top. But the thing was, when I went there, I always drink for free because we were bartending, but I would always get the buffalo chicken spring rolls. And that was the thing, is I would go there because they would always give me those for free after that whole thing happened. So I ended up going there a lot more actually after I stopped drinking. Which they didn't even care as much about either, because now I wasn't drinking there either. I was just getting buffalo chicken spring rolls. And Coke. Coca-Cola. Even before I got sober, I wasn't really much of a Coke head. I had Coke a few times, but that shit is too expensive, too addicting, and like, if I wanted to feel like that with ADHD, I could just be completely sober. But there's a huge reason why, if you're ever watching any movies, Coke always leads to the big downfall. Like, whenever your people get really successful and then they start doing Coke, you're like, all right, here it goes. Here comes the downfall. Because Coke does that. Oh yeah, resetting. I probably should have reset. I'm sorry. Did you leave? I wasn't even thinking. Yeah, that was a hilarious night. That was the day after Christmas. Because the day before, me, Sebastian, and Zero went up to my place and watched a movie called Rubber. Because we were all working on Christmas. So we were like, what do we do on Christmas? Because we were all going to celebrate Christmas later. At least that's how I always did it. And they're like, that's a good idea. Because I'd always usually take like a week and visit my parents around in January for like 4 to 5 days. So I could still like get a shift or 2 in that week, but still take a few days off and go on vacay.
We have one shot here. Let's work together.
And Times Square in the holiday season is always like slammed. And January is always super slow. It's like the perfect time. Because there are a lot of people give up drinking for New Year's. It doesn't last the whole year, obviously, but bars in Times Square are hilariously dead in January. But you don't care that much because, like I said, the holiday season's like fucking nuts in Times Square. Yeah, I forgot. When we ended the game, I looked, and there was like 3 open spots or something. I was like, okay. So I just waited a little bit. But I think we were supposed to reset after that. I'm sorry, though. Kennedy's been carrying me, too. Oh no, another Shadow Wesker. We've only gotten one in literally every single game we've played today. I'm telling you guys, you get one of these every single game. It's literally been every game we played today, right? No, who was with the ghost face? No, we've had 2 games without Shadow Wesker. Because we had the Lears one too. That was Billy and Chucky. It's the only killer I'm kind of getting sick of in the 2v8. Like, we get this shit like every fucking game. Let's spray this after we heal them. I gotta spray him instead. Whoops. then they're gonna come show up and get me. We've only ever played Chuck. I haven't seen that many. I think I've only seen like probably as many as I can count on 2 hands the whole time it's been out. I feel like the 2 most common I'd see is probably the Shadow Wesker. Problem is I don't see them together, but I think of Shadow Oni I see a lot too. But Oni's another killer that feels great in the 2v8. Because it feels like you need a support killer in the 1v4. Because when they're just pre-dropping on a strong map and it just feels like you can't even, you don't have any power, you're just walking in one killer. That's why Wraith feels great in the 2v8 as well. Because you feel like you can be the support killer. Whereas you feel like you are a support killer in the 1v4. Like, I shouldn't be chasing this guy, I should leave. And you're like, but I gotta commit to some fucking chase somewhere because I'm the only killer, you know? And then 2v8 you don't have to, really, if you don't want. But I like it as well. It doesn't really, it sounds like it'd be boring, but you get to constantly be evaluating everything you look at. Like, is that a free enough hit, or should I leave and go, you know what I mean? I really like constantly having 3 or 4 things to try to decide between what to do. Best killer combo. Interesting. I kind of like Wraith a lot with either like Oni or Blight. Nemesis and Trapper were pretty funny. We played with I don't know about the best, but the zombies with the traps combined was hilarious. Blight and Oni's pretty fucking great. Because Blight can get good fast hits anywhere. From across, not anywhere, but you know what I mean. Which will just get more blood for Oni. We can also capitalize by flying all over the map. Man in the mirror. Yeah, the 80s snare drum. It sounds great. It's funny how immediately you can date movies by hearing some music in it. Just thinking that with Dumb and Dumber. Ooh. The man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. Na 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 na. There they are. There they are. Kicking that gen until it's all the way down. Story of the year. I really didn't listen to too much emo. Emo's kind of fun to make fun of. Like, you know how weather people talk in like a certain way and people make fun of it
It's going to be all
because they're trying to be as clear as possible, or people that work at like news stations. It's like that's what I think with like emo music a lot, and why it's easy to make fun of, because it's such a distinct like over pronunciation a lot of times. Here I am, riding my heart onto these rooftops. Ooh, Kid Cudi. Oh God! Tom DeLonge. Is that the Fallout Boy guy? It's not there, but he can see my fucking. Go the other way. No, he didn't. I can make this though. Yay! Go back to it again. Yeah. My fault, but I'm not worried at all. Come on, come on. It's fun to get value out of the pallet like that, though. Not gonna lie. But I'm not worried at all. Hey, Bill fucking Murray. I took your advice. This is the first time I'm trying it. I am in ultra wide mode with chat on YouTube chat on the left and Twitch chat on the right. I'm giving it a try. What am I waiting for? So profound when it'll grip you. Well, then I go away, very far away to another universe where the other people say it's a new place for the special to embrace, like a marsh, a new singly wanted out of place. Take what you need from the valley of the harbor. Even if you try, you be singing fly up, but you can say bye, bye, bye. Sky might be falling, but remember you can fly high. The sky might fall, the sky might fall, and I'm not worried at all. No, some. No, I did not. Because when I put it up to Ultra, I was trying a little bit last night. And the utilization was between like 90 and 100-ish. And I was like, nah, I'd rather just play how I'm used to playing. But the reason I actually did it was because I was trying to think of a different way for my monitors. Because my neck was even sore just after that birthday stream on Saturday. Even though it was short. That was the thing, I kept looking this way like the whole stream to talk to peeps, and I was like, huh. Because when we were trying to guess why, it was only one side that was really affected. And I was like, well, my chat's on that side, and I was always turned that way, and she was like, well, maybe you could change your monitor setup. So I'm going to try to move it a little bit more that way so this monitor is more in the middle as well. But I was like, that would fix that. And it would make me feel less depressed about having an ultra-wide. Because, dude, it sucks always looking at left and right bars, black bars in real life being like, man, this thing is beautiful. I never get to see it like that. Not anymore. Now I can. If Chuck is here, I'm fucked. Also, survivors don't know that you can make it out right there. A lot of times survivors will panic. It's blocked and they'll run back in and get slapped down. You can make it out. Yep. Now I'm using every little bit of what I can. I actually see more chat. It's more narrow this way, and the print's smaller since it's on my main screen now, but I can see way more rows. So it's like, hey, this is still actually good. As long as it's not distracting. But it's not distracting, at least not yet. Support from a fellow stoner in Belfast, Ireland. What's up, man? Yeah, I didn't even smoke this morning before work. Because then I ate the edibles and then smoked the rest of the weed that I had ground up. The better weed. This morning I was still just like... I actually think my desk setup might look better even if I moved this back in the middle and have this on the side. Because the only thing on this on the side, it has voice mod open, it has the... Which I didn't used to have. I mean, it was open, it just had it minimized. Now I have it up there. Same with the audio splitter. I have it up there now. Steam's up there, but I can close that. And iTunes was always there. Same with activity feed. I just made activity way longer so I could see it now. I kept the preview and stuff the exact same size. I just got more space for everything else. I'm like, right. Are you setting that? I don't think we need to reset. Is Kenny trying to get back in here? I didn't mean... Because that's the thing, when I backed out and I saw like 4 open slots, I'm like, yeah, we're good. Yeah, there's definitely space in the lobby. If you see space, get it, because it's always first come, first serve anyway, for the 2v8. Unless somebody got left out, and then I make sure we get them in on the next game. We had some fun that last match with the pallet in the main of Rancid Abattoir. We had some really fun epic chases, or not epic, but just the most niche value out of family residence that is like the most useful tips I could give somebody. We got value off of both in the same game, which was hilarious. We went and used the back checkpoint and the back corner outside of the family residence main, and whichever way they push you, you can... And they pushed us the other way, actually, the way I didn't want to get pushed, but same thing, if you know what to do. And then the corner fence, same thing. You can force them to push you the way you want to get pushed there, and that's what we did. Hey, Snoop. Yeah, there's 3 different family residence main buildings. Oh, game requests. My friend requests? Thank you. I'll check them as soon as this game's over. And I can get you in on the next one. My friend requests are full on Steam. Also, what's up? 19285N. I see them in YouTube comments. But I actually do... Like, it might be a little bit more hectic, and I have to get a little bit more used to it. But I like the chat being on the same screen as it. Because I don't have to look as far. So, like, if I'm sitting on a gen, I can see stuff a little bit better than if I was, like, had to be like this, you know? The whole time. The other thing I noticed about how often I would look to the right is when you look at your friend, you're like something crazy happens and you're like, look at the camera, I would look at that. It was like a bunch of times where I would just jerk my head to the right. $2v1. Oh. You see him? It's always like a high mobility killer using it. Wesker is so much different than the 2v8 with a third dash. Now, the third dash is good in the 2v8, but it would be too much in the 1v4. But it's funny though, because in the 1v4 it almost feels like 2 dashes isn't enough, but 3 dashes would be too much in the 1v4. You know? Pretty blunt. Thanks for the follow, mate. I appreciate it. Nice. I've been being too hesitant today. We're trying to go for great skill checks. I'm like, what am I scared of? And I keep playing it safe. Blame it on the good weed. I do love weed. I'd love to get sponsored by a big weed company. This stream brought to you by Budmeister. Check out these buds. About. That's why they were on the ground. Oh yeah, let's go. Got away from both of them. We've been down that one before. Damn. I wanted to greet it. I didn't even get a chance to even throw it if I wanted to. Oh, I love the song. It's fun getting chased by both killers, though. There's an ocean of sorrow in you. Oh, shit. This is my favorite band. I'm getting tunneled by S tier killer less than 3 seconds after getting unhooked. It's funny because I don't think Nurse is the best killer in this one though. Because all the maps are fucking enormous and that's like Nurse's biggest weak spot. Is that she doesn't have spectacular mobility. Oh, you can both see my aura, huh? And look, you're both chasing me in the corner of the map. Again. Looks like you got it this time. For our communications, though, you'd be losing 4 gens while every other survivor is doing something. That's what I mean. I don't get why survivors don't like when they get chased by both. It's like we literally won the chase earlier. We're getting chased by both of them. You know how much time that wastes? We're like, well, no gens got done. It's like, because we're in solo queue. I mean, we're not in solo queue, but if you're not in communications, the same issues will happen in solo queue. But it won't. The games don't go as bad, though. I'm not trying to pretend they're like, this is solo queue. It's like, no. The games go way better in open lobbies than they do in solo queue, but you'll run into the same type of issues that you can't communicate with, obviously, because we're not in communications. I was like, what was my tome? I was like, damn, I still haven't gotten 10 unhooks yet. And survivors be like, I was in the corner of the map and all I had was a Z-wall and both killers were on me. You're like, yeah, you were in the corner of the map at a Z-wall wasting 2 killers' time. They're going to have to trek all the way back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why survivors don't like that. And then, like, every teeny little thing you do right is amplified. Like, even just getting them behind that Z-wall is doing the right thing. I could have ran face first into the nurse, gotten down earlier. It's like, no, let's pull them back to a fucking Z-wall in the corner of the map and waste both their time, you know? They're going to get you down, but that's going to happen anyway. So when you're getting chased by both killers, you're turning them into one strong killer. That means you have twice as many teammates, more than twice as many teammates, right? I know there's some people dead, but like earlier in the match, when you have 7 other teammates, both killers are chasing you. Even if it doesn't go that well, you have over twice as many teammates as you do in the 1v4, and essentially one killer because they're both chasing you. So in the 1v4, you have the killer on you, you have 3 other teammates that can be doing stuff. You have 7 other teammates that can be doing stuff in the 2v8. But that's just the funny thing, because it's like, if it's so survivor-sided, why don't you escape like every game? It's like, because we're playing solo queue. Not, you know what I mean? It's not solo queue, but we're not on communications. Because if you're on 8 survivors on communications, this is just my opinion. I haven't done it yet, so this is just, I guess, some speculation, but I feel like this would be the most survivor-sided playlist there's ever been. If you had 8 players on communications, you know? Where the goal was just to do the gens and get as many people out as possible, just to get 5 out, right? It's even a win is even more lenient in the 2v8, right? If you're going to consider a win. In the 1v4 equivalent, you have to get 6 out because you have to get 3k. 3 out of the 4 is 6 out of the 8, you know? You can do a slightly worse even and get 5 out and you still won. As survivor, you know? One killer too. As long as you get 5, it's still win. What time is it? 6:13. It's funny, the thing that makes I mean, indoor maps is not great for Nurse, though, but she can do amazing at indoor maps if she has all aura reading. It's like Nurse loads into Hawkins. No, but Nurse has all 5 or all 4 aura reading perks. Nurse, yes. But if not running aura reading, you're like, oh, this is gonna suck. Hey, what's up, Deontay?
Let's get this done.
Found a green one. Oh, this one here would be good to save for later. Not this one. I mean, that one, obviously, but that gen. There's only ever one out there. Please tell me we didn't get the awful gen. Okay, nice. When you get this gen, it sucks. One right there in the corner. Ooh, Tarper. Tarper in who? Dang it. Well, come on, Mr. Tarpy Pants. '85 stream streak. How in the fuck? It's like 4 months. Even through all the crashes and shit. Dude, thank you so much. Holy shit. No, she going your way. Yeah. He said I'd rather listen to your instrumentals. Good shit, GZ. Don't sell Pepsi, they just sell Coke. Hit me. Oh no! It's reset. And he went the other way. Why did he go the other way? I was in a dead zone. But once again, he's running Shadow like every other Wesker you ever see. I told you this is by far the most common killer you see in this. I don't want to use my brain. I want 3 free dashes. Although Dracula's a bit like that too. I don't know why. I'll be honest, I kind of don't know why Dracula got a 3rd dash. Because it made it almost pointless. I'm glad people play Wesker more than Dracula, to be honest, but because it made Wesker feel like it's like, well, then what's special about Wesker? Because Dracula gets that 3rd dash plus a few other things, you know? And it's just like... When he double backed, I don't know why he double backed there. That's why I wasn't even waiting at checkpoint, because once I saw it, I was like, all he had to do was push us up. He didn't. He double back that way, which would have given us able to run up to that. So what the fuck? That didn't make any sense to me. Whatsoever. Yeah, they're all over there. This is hustler music. This is hustler music. Oh shit. Here comes Wesker with no tear radius for the millionth time. And there he is. Just like I said, it's just too predictable. Oh, was your 3rd dash not enough? The fuck are you doing, bro? Oh, fuck. I didn't realize so many gens were done. Damn it. I had to take my tea bags back. Fuck, man. Hey, they got a few amount of hooks, though. I just want to talk trash. Never take them back. I love tea. I double up on them tea bags when I make this tea. Unfortunately, that's the end of the tea. I got water, too. Yeah, if you're bagging, you're asking for it. It's like, which is the fastest way up? This way, maybe? Well, I might as well go up this way. I was gonna go up those stairs, but then she popped up here. This is Ghost of Perdition, yeah. Good shit, La Morales. This is my favorite band. I kind of think of this as like their best song. But obviously that's subjective. And their songs are too different. It's like trying to compare anything like that. It's not going to work. Oh look, another Wesker with no tear radius. I think we've only seen that like 100 times today. They're just going to camp on that one side. This is the type of game that makes me want to DC. Like, they're literally just going to run back and not even chase anything. But there's also when I play killer, I get bored doing that shit. I'd rather just have the game be over already. Like, Azeroth's Resting Place and Sanctum of Wrath and Suffocation Pit, like, you're forced. The killers are forced in this one, too. You're absolutely forced to guard one side. You're stretched too thin. I just don't, because I just get so fucking bored doing that. And I always lose on those maps. It's like, oh no, I chased one total time across midway in the map, and there goes one gen on the other side, and the game's over. I'm gonna throw the pallet on you again this time. Are you gonna actually commit to any chase? Oh no, you're not, huh? I'm so shocked. That's what I mean, dude. This shit is so fucking boring. Like, I'm sure they're having a great time committing to 0 chases and just running back. You gotta move, you gotta move. This is what I mean by not being on communications either. I'm like, you gotta move, you gotta move. I'm the only one too. That sucks, man. I was the only injured one. Oh, you gotta move, you gotta move. Nope, we're the only one that gets grabbed. And we just give away a free hit. He's like, see, I got a down, I committed. You're like, I got sandbagged by 2 teammates. I'm sure that was very interactive for you, Wesky. I'm just gonna give up, man. I don't want to play this. This is so boring. They can wait another 3 matches worth to go kick a gen 14 times. I'm sure they love doing that. Hey, someone's coming for me. I'll hit the skill checks then. I want them to come all the way over here, and then I miss. Let's actually on the hind and the other way. Let's just drag this shit out. I am now going to play very petty and just go searching for some dull totems. Since they very clearly want this match to be dragged out. They're doing everything they can for that, aren't they? So let's be good players and give them what they want. Passed her by, dedicated hunter to pull us under. Are you gonna come this far? Damn it. I wanted to get him so bad. Hey, I did it for a daily! Let's go! Oh, did you have to M1 with 3 chances, bud? Glad you waited 20 minutes in queue just to M1 because you weren't good enough with the power. Have fun 20 more minutes waiting for your next game of kicking gens in M1 when they give you a whole 3rd option to use your power. Damn. Aren't you jealous that you don't have fun just not even using the whole buffed power you waited 20 minutes to use? Damn. I'm so jealous of that. Games would be so easy to have fun. Just kicking the gen over and over and ignoring your whole buffed power just to M1 after waiting 20 minutes. Damn, man. I wish I could enjoy that. Also, I would have gotten hit by that if I was fucking playing killer. Man, at times I'm standing this far away and it's like, I'll take 3 steps and walk up to the pallet and it's like, the second I saw him in the range, I'm like, huh, this fucking idiot. Nope, he knew better than I did. But like I said, I wish I could wait 20 minutes for a game just to only M1 and not even use my buffed power just to kick gens for 15 straight minutes after waiting 20 for that 15-minute game. I wish I could have a good time doing that. Life would be so much more fun on DBD. Yeah, Trapper, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I kind of wish they buffed Nemesis instead of the zombies. Before they had the zombies, Nemesis sucked, obviously, in the 2v8. But it wasn't even the zombies, I feel like. I wanted them to spawn in tier 3. Because tier 2 people were like, spawn them in tier 2, and I know I'm biased Nemesis main. But in tier 2, all those extra filler pallets they throw in are still useless with his whip. Because when you take the whip out, you slow down too much and then make it around the corner. See, it's like what you said. You're like forced to try to punch or get pallets done, obviously. But there's all those extra filler pallets that you literally can't do anything on. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, and exactly what you said. You're like, don't even get into tier 3. Now fucking twice as many survivors. You should be able to get in tier 3 faster. So, like, I didn't even really want any extra zombies. I just wanted to get in tier 3. And it's still kind of the same thing. Like... Do I have a mod here? Do we type exclamation pallet? I totally forgot about that daily. That's what I mean. Like, that's what feels bad about Nemesis, not even the extra zombies. The extra zombies are useful, though. They definitely made them strong enough in the 2v8. But it still feels like shit with the whip, though. And there's, like, extra, like, put together tiles as well that feel really jank hitbox-wise. Because they don't exist in the 1v4, so we don't have experience with it. But then you're looking at, like, the end of the same rock, but it's, like, a slightly different tile since the other side of the rock is safer. And then you go to slide the whip around it, and it just eats the whip. And it's just like, what? It'd be like the same if you had Bubba in the 2v8, right? Like, all the bump spots would be different. And you'd be like, dude, I know that rock. It's in the one... And it's like, yeah, but it's slightly different. Even though it appears the same, you know, all of a sudden it's a bump spot that shouldn't be there. Because it's, like, 2v8. But, like, this area specifically, when you get, like, those extra cactus pallets back there, with the whip, you, like, can't whip over that somehow. And, it, like, the hitbox is, like, much bigger than those little cactuses are. And it's like, it's like, dude, they weren't even ducking. Like, what do you mean? It just eats the whole whip. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. It only feels good against people that know how to loop in tier 3. Bruh, what? How in the world did I get hit by that? Oh, 96 milliseconds. Like, what the fuck was that? I'm getting diaper mode, but what the fuck is that? Oh, face plant, because I suck. Did you double back at all? I could agree. No, he didn't respect. When you can see inside my shell, I wait and bleed. Damn it. Luckily, that's the easiest one. You can see my aura. Did you need your little handheld? Oh my god, they actually did. Because of the ghost face, but at the same time, I'm used to last game. There's 5 fucking gens already. Holy shit. No, I want to talk trash. When I looked, I'm like, oh my god, actually, yes, they did. Because Ghostface doesn't get... Ghostface got nerfed in the 2v8. That's the type of shit that makes me annoyed with, like... That's why you see so much Wesker. I mean, Ghostface is already weak, but it's like he got nerfed. Because his thing lasts half as long, doesn't it? His expose. Yeah, Wesker, everybody's playing Wesker, but that's because he's brainless in the 2v8. You get a whole third dash. It's not OP in the 2v8 though, it's just brainless. Same with Dracula's third dog dash. The amount of times you make them miss like embarrassingly terrible, but they still just have a third try, and it's just like once again, well, Wesker 100% was all for that. That was needed in the 2v8. Dracula is the one I'm like, then what's the point of buffing Wesker? What is the point? Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have the time up. And I reset the stream like 2 minutes after I started. Because I forgot to change my birthday thing, and it was like, it's my birthday! And it's like, no, it's not. Also, what's up, Noobster? Sorry, I missed that. Oh god, and you can see my aura again. We were in the exact same tile last time when they could see my aura. Holy shit. These gems were fucking flying. This right here, remember oh my god. Remember I was talking about the cactuses? That right there is what I'm talking about. These are like so annoying to try to figure out hitbox wise. Oh, you're gonna M1, I see. Alright, they got back up at least one. There's there. They get picked, they might get pallet saved. No, they're on the wrong side. No! Yeah, I kind of wanted him to whip there just to show you guys, because those cactuses don't exist in the one before, like those cactus tiles. And I swear those were, they just like eat the whole whip. Even if you don't duck, like I wasn't even. This shit is so annoying, and there's like a bunch more that spawn back here specifically. This area is obnoxious as fuck as a Nemesis main. Not in the 1v4, but in the 2v8. This whole area back here is just like absurd. Oops. Yeah, Huntress hatches too. I didn't think about it. They have to crawl. Keep crawling, keep crawling. Crawl to the door and it'll force them to hook you, and then we can unhook you. I don't know if they can hear, obviously. Hey, they picked themselves up, though. No, run towards the door, because it'll force them to pick you up. Because if it forces them to pick them up, it might spawn them over here. Then we could get them. Yeah, here we go. We both have heal. The question is if there's two of them. If Ghostface is here too. I do not see him. Alright, we are good. You know what's sad with artists? There's one add-on I really want and I like never get it. My artist is like P6 or P7 and only has like 20 of served hands. It's severed hands, but Kelly calls them served hands. And pretty much whenever anybody has a way of calling something that it's not actually, in video games specifically, I always like doing that. Like Gears of War is probably where that started. Me and my friend would always call all the maps something that it wasn't. Like Canals was Canals, of course, because we were teenage boys. You know, Gridlock was either Grid Dick or Gridlick. Fuel Depot or Fuel Depot. Like, we were just being stupid, but when she was like, served hands, I'm like, I love it. It's served hands now. I love the 2v8. I'm not gonna lie. But
I'm sorry.
I can completely understand if someone's a killer main that doesn't like the 2v8. Because you're like, my favorite, especially if you're like, your main killer's not in the 2v8, like, that's probably the easiest example to point to. I know a lot of content creators don't like it, but that's because their numbers go down. This is one of the times where I'm lucky that I'm not a full-time content creator yet. I want to be. But every now and then we'll come across an issue where I'm like, yes, this would be much more frustrating if I was a full-time... Like, so I was having PC issues. Thank you, Bill fucking Murray. We got that fixed. It was GPU sag. I had to take it out, and it wasn't quite lined up with the PCIe slot and put it back in and have it bracing out, and it has not crashed one time since. It took us a while to figure that out, but holy shit, thank you so much, because we were doing one little bit, and once again, it wasn't like, all right, let me try to go live and see if it crashes. It was like, well, this is all the time I had. We got to try to go live tomorrow and see if it doesn't crash after work, you know? And it was like, all right, well, that's what I mean, but thank you so much. He had so much patience. He was working on with me with that thing for like a month, just doing like little software stuff, because we wanted to get all the free stuff out of the way, you know? And then technically I did have to buy something hardware-wise, right? Like I had to buy like a $9 little thing. But that was the first time I had to spend money on it. And that's why we took our time, like, making little adjustments, seeing if it was software-related. But... well, if they're a killer main, I could see it just... excuse me, going down in general. And it's funny, I have thought about this, but... I was like, maybe if somebody doesn't really talk about too much other stuff, maybe? Like, we talk about DBD a lot as well. But that was, like, one of the first things when me and Progressive Lotus played last week in 2v8. And I was like, do you watch any movies? Do you watch any sports? He's like, I watch movies. Okay. Like, what movies you watch lately? You know, shit like that. It's fun. That's one of the reasons I like Survivor so much, because it is so easy. And you can sit here and talk about sports and movies and music and, like, whatever is going on. I can even listen to music during the games in 2v8. I don't usually listen to music during the games in Survivor 1v4. I do in Killer 1v4, and it's opposite. Well, I was listening to music when I was playing Killer 1v or 2v8 as well. But I usually listen to music when I play Killer because there's no teammates to get fucked over if I play bad, you know? But in 2v8, there's so many teammates and shit, and there's so much less interaction with Killer that I don't feel like the music negatively affects it enough for me to be like, my team's getting screwed because I have some tunes on, you know? Yeah, if you're playing to win, it's actually more important to have music off while playing Killer. I just don't give a shit when I'm playing. I play for fun. Like greeting a pallet, right? You can run it to a pallet. That's why, like the Scooby-Doo loop and that clock tower loop, I'm always telling people go run those. Especially if you're having a bad time playing DBD, if you're like trying to win or always trying to win the 50-50, or you know, or it's like just run to both of those because you don't even have to use your brain. You use checkpoints and stuff, obviously. I mean, by use your brain is you're not trying to win a 50-50. You're not trying to get a pallet stun. You literally run up to both of those loops being like, I'm going to loop this over and over until the killer finally doesn't respect the pallet and M1s me, you know? And that's what makes it so much fun. And that's what I mean by it's easy as fuck. And you're still productive. It's like a win-win, you know? Same with making the deal abilities. Because what you're saying, too, like, you could... if you're playing Killer to win, the difference between winning and losing on Killer could literally have been, like, I didn't hear that survivor move in the grass. And if I would have heard that survivor move the blade of grass, I would have known they were there and I would have been able to get them. Oh, I should have come after you. And the 1v4, yeah, 1v4 queues are nuts. That's the biggest issue with the 2v8. Killer queues in the 1v4. Because there's a lot of killers that are not in the 2v8. Your favorite killer that you play DBD for is not in the 2v8. You have to wait 10 minutes to play a game, you know? And get survivors, since matchmaking has to be a little bit different. Because it gets backfilled so hard. You know, waiting like 10 minutes, you end up getting a survivor that has like 100 hours. Well, you're too far away to be respecting that. Damn, not quite. I was fucked either way though. Yeah, singularity I do think would be sweet in the 2v8. The only two killers that would be kind of hard to incorporate, and they already did one, was Legion and Plague. And it's literally just because with Oni. Although Plague would be rough with like trying to do that against Blight or Nurse as well, because you're just always injured all the time. Oh god. Against a killers like that. That's what I mean by that'd be rough. Oh my god, I haven't heard this song forever. It was good, a song. This is that guy that sings Mad World. That Donnie Darko version of Mad World. Yeah, in Survivor, it's literally like you need sound is more helpful on Killer than Survivor, but when I'm playing Killer, I just don't have teammates to let down if I didn't hear something, so I don't give a shit if I didn't hear or see that Survivor in the bush when I was turning the corner. As I'm playing Killer, I have more fun with the chase. As we were saying earlier, like the RPD match, because I was having fun talking some trash, not in the post game. Like I said, talking trash post game is such a waste of time. It wastes your own time. You know what I mean? Personally, like if you're the one talking trash, it's just like why? It's fun talking trash when the game's going on, but I'm gonna sit there wasting time typing some shit out. That's just my, this is just me. But wait, what? Hey, good shit. Drinks are on me. I do think they put the thing down to, it used to be $100 you had to make before you get a payout. I think they put it down to 50. I think they did that in the same update where, like, if you had money in your Twitch account, you can, like, that is going to be in a payout, you can spend some of that for bits and shit. It was really tempting not to, but I always figured if I get into a scenario where I have a lot of spending money, that'd be like the first thing I did, was just get like the biggest package of bits.
I'm here for you.
Oh yeah, but that's why I always lose. That's what we're talking about. That's why I always lose and do terribly as Killer on Azeroth's Resting Place, Sanctum of Wrath, and Suffocation Pit specifically, because they're like bottlenecks in the middle and you're like kind of forced to guard one side or the other. And Forgotten Ruins. These are, well, I was like, I don't know if Suff Pit's really that great for Killer no matter what, but the other ones are pretty great for Killer if you just guard one side, but absolute cheeks if you don't. But that's why I always do bad in those ones, because I don't give a shit about like actually winning or kicking gens. But you have to do that. I just don't have fun doing that. And it's like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna do what I have fun doing. Because on those maps, if you like hit a survivor and they run like over the halfway mark, you can't chase them. Because then they're gonna get one gen done and the game is over. And one gen on the side that you're trying to hold down, you know? So it's just like, man, that's just miserable though. I'd just rather not give a fuck and have a good time instead. But fun's subjective. Some people have a great time doing that. Does this work? And those zombies are so helpful, aren't they? This is why I'd rather just had Nemesis spawn in tier 3 instead of extra zombies. Personally. Man, I like really gotta pee. I'm trying to hold it to the Pistons game though. But I love the 2v8. I always will love the 2v8. Sounds like The Walking Dead. Have you seen that Key and Peele skit where they're playing extras and they're being zombies? He's like, this guy sound like Beaker. Me. Dude, I fucking love Key and Peele. Dude, Keegan recently actually came out and said, I'm sure somebody asked him a question. It was like, would you be open to do more Key and Peele skits? And he was like, hell yeah. I would love to do more Key and Peele sketches. That was cool. So he's in tier 3 now. That's exactly what we're talking about. It takes too long. All these extra filler palettes that you can't actually whip over. And then they can all cleanse themselves again. Like, that makes it even worse. This is all of us, right? Trying to get some blood points. We just got like 1,000 something blood points just for healing there. Because it's times 3.5. I really gotta pee. I think the next game probably gonna be my last one too, but I really gotta pee. Here with the controller. Oh, the Nemesis was a bot. The spirit was left by herself. Yeah, I could fit another one in for sure. Maybe even 2.
Not even in death. Apparently.
I'm ready up and I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Nobody's got to leave, do they? Because I want to ready up, but if somebody leaves, it unreadies me. But I'm readying up and running to the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Hey, what's up, Big Bit? Got little clementines. Thanks for the raid, mate. You playing DBD? Killer, Survivor, 2v8? What's up, Cation? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. No problem. I was just saying about getting into doing some really short guides again. Because the long ones take me too long. Because I don't want to, like... I keep adding features to them. And they keep getting more and more thorough. But I don't want to take features away. I want to do them the best way I can. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a bunch of short ones first. I'm working on a nurse one first, though, before I do those.
Let's avoid the hooks and hit those generators.
Teammate kept DCing. On every game he played? Hey, thanks for the follow, Cation. I appreciate it, mate. I don't know. I want to. Might be able to later in this week if he's not playing with somebody. Like after I stream one of these times, I can squeeze in a few games. I'd love to on stream as well. I'm trying to figure, because I couldn't play with people before. And I was like, maybe I can play with Kelly on like Wednesday if Kelly can. Maybe Pally on Friday if Pally can. Maybe MLT on Monday because I always got to play with MLT. And Absolve somewhere in there, or Noob somewhere in there too. I want to play with Noob, but my PC started crashing at the worst time. Hmm. I need a patient. Damn it. I was hoping he'd mind game himself there. No dice. Right over the stairs, jump it again. If I got hit by that, I was gonna fucking whine. Unless he was in tier 3 and I didn't know about it. Man, Clementine's delicious. Next game is probably going to be the last one as well. We got Pistons game at 7. We got to go play against a fucking alien. Victor Wembanyama. Anybody watch basketball? He's a fucking alien. I'm a huge fan. He's a real fucking superstar too. He doesn't go flopping for calls or trying to get free throws and shit. Ah, the fucking monster. I'm glad he's not in my conference. So if we gotta see his ass, we gotta see his ass in the playoffs. And it spawns back right here again. That'd be hilarious. Oh, damn, I stubbed my toe. Here it come now, said Neme. Oh, they're both here. One One of them was lagging hard as fuck. Didn't affect us there, though. Like, using low makes you see red stains better. I could believe that. That's not why I play on low. I play on low just because when I got my PC, this is the first PC I've had. It was in 2018 when I built it, and I was watching Shroud and his settings, and even though he had like the best PC, he was still playing on low settings on PUBG, and he was saying because you want as little as possible, or as much as possible to reduce the risk of losing frames. So that's why he always played at a really low graphics. Wow. It was not in range, it felt like, but... Oh, you might be the lagging one. That would make sense. Run to the next. Agreed this one too. Remember I was just talking about how Wraith in the 1v4 you like have to commit to a chase like that. Like he left, right? That's the good thing to do, and not because I'm cracked. I was winning a bunch of 50-50s, obviously. Anybody can do this shit. Literally, if anyone's ever even remotely impressed by anything I can do looping-wise, you can do this shit better than my dumb ass can. But what I mean by is if you're in the 1v4, you like have to commit to a chase, you know? In 2v8, you're like, it's wasted a little bit too much time, I can leave. But you're the only killer in the 1v4, and that's what I mean by Wraith feels like a support killer. Nah, dude. Not date. I appreciate the kind words, but nah, man. That's why I make those looping guides. Or someone's like, oh my god, cracked, goat, or whatever. I'm like, this ain't Halo. This ain't Guitar Hero, even. I'm pretty good at Guitar Hero, but I would not be able to get good at Guitar Hero as an adult. That was one of those, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I still could learn DBD. You know, like... Also, I missed with Diva and Joshi. Was that when I was in the bathroom? No, I'm not a bartender anymore, though. I'm a bud tender now. I work at a dispensary. I sell weed. Legally. Clock in and pay taxes on selling weed. It's hilarious. Oh, I forgot to check my in-game request. Fuck, man. Oh yeah. 1750 blood points just for that. Excuse me. Knock sale. Thanks for the follow, mate. I appreciate it. Oh, damn. I was trying to let him knock me down, but I'm just bad. Yeah, that's the funny thing is BFM, the guy that was helping me with my PC, told me I could play on Ultra, and I was like, still like, eh. I like playing on low. Oh, we should. I think we have room for another. Next one's the last one. If we haven't got you in, we're definitely getting you in at least. Because whenever somebody asks if we got room, I'm like, all right, we definitely got to get them in. We got 3 more spots, but if more than 3 people have not played and want to play, then I'm going to reset and get them, make sure we get them in. Oh, in-game requests. I'm sorry, Bleezy, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, it did get extended. Bill Murray. That shit did get extended. I don't think it's ever not gotten extended, right? It's only gotten extended every time. Is this Bacon Eater? Love that name. Professional Bacon Eater. Alright, then you just gotta pull up the friends list and then join and we're good. I think we all got to ready up. Unless Bleezy's getting in here. I'm sorry, Bleezy. I'm a fucking idiot. You even told me to check my in-game and I was still a fucking idiot. As Kyler Bush might got to ready up, though, I suppose. And then I need to go watch Pistons game after this. I get my bowl of weed ready, actually. I have more weed left over right now than I usually do, but that was because I didn't smoke this morning. I was still stoned as fucking last night. Bacon here, you got it ready up, Maine? Hey, Bacon Eater. Got it ready up, Maine? It is, right? Kyler Bush is that Bacon Eater? Yo, you got it ready up, Maine? We're running out of time. This is gonna be a quick one. There we go. I was like, I might just have to boot you. That's because we didn't have the time. Once I was done packing my bowl, if they weren't ready, I was gonna have to boot them. This is my bowl. What does that mean by I don't really smoke that much? I always make it sound, but look at this is how small the bowl is, and it's not even filled all the way. It's like, you know. It's a huge stoner double fisting blunts, and it's like, nah. I mean, I am huge stoner, yes, but not out there double fisting nothing. Not like I used to. Even then I was smoking too much weed. Like, you have a day off and you're like, I'm gonna smoke a blunt to myself. Fucking solo blunt this shit. Every time I ever did that, I would get like a third of the way through the blunt and be like, man, I'm fucking stoned. I should put this shit out. I'd be like, no, it's my day off and I'm gonna finish it. That was always a waste of weed. Good song. Yeah, there's delay on YouTube. There's delay on Twitch too, but not as bad. But is it more than normal? Hi. Yeah, exactly. Using a bong. Because it smokes away too. Like when you're just sitting there holding it, like you could see smoke going. Every time you... Then you go like that. I even try to conserve that out of smoking the bong. Like when I take it out, I don't just like take it out and clear it and then like shove it back on. Because when you do that, you see a bunch of smoke come out too. I literally like, as I take the bowl out to clear it, I'm still like... And then I like very slowly put it back on. I'm like, I'm not wasting shit here.
Let's avoid the hooks and hit those generators.
Hey, he's on mouse and keyboard. I wish they would make it so it wasn't like that. It sounds like you should nerf play it, and it's like, no. He's gonna use his power. Oh my god, so skilled. Wasn't that so hard to use Blight? All you do is just stand still, and there's nothing the survivor can do. My god, Blight is so hard. What a crack killer. Yeah, it's funny, because unironically, I am kind of calling for a buff to Blight. I just wish controller players could flick like that. I think it's really stupid that you can look at one flick and be like, he's on mouse and keyboard. And the funny thing is, the mouse and keyboard ego players are like, no, because it's our skill ceiling. And you're like, so you want other players to suffer so that you look better. I see. But it is funny, because unironically, I would be calling for a Blight buff, essentially. Kind of like how they did with Oni. It was the same thing. Like, I hated you'd see them do a flick, and you're like, and they're on mouse and keyboard. It was stupid. I like that they buffed I like that they buffed controllers. So now, but some people were mad with Oni on that one, too. Like, but that's our skill ceiling. And it's like, so you want controller players just to be worse without even being able to compete? I mean, they're going to be worse no matter. They're not worse players, but you know what I mean? Like, just, you can't do as much on controller as you can on mouse and keyboard. But I feel like that's the only argument. Don't do it because it doesn't make mouse and keyboard players look as cracked. And it's like, yes, let's have other players have a worse time so you can keep your ego high. There's like 3 movements to it, Tiago, and once again, it's way better if you play on a higher sensitivity, but players like me, when I play Blight, I used to have to do this only too, it just has the same sensitivity. I play in 400 DPI, but I press one button on my mouse, and it goes from 400 DPI to 4,000. And I just press that when I'm about to go for a flick. Because you have to turn, a lot of times you look down to turn, because if you look down, you turn a little bit faster. Right before you start your flick, you look, so that, and then from where you just turned it to, that's where the flick starts, so then you can turn again to keep the flick going, and then you have to turn again at the very end for a follow-through. Once again, you can kind of do this with, like, one movement on a really high sensitivity, and you don't even have to, like, whereas if you're playing on lower sensitivity, when you see people, they'll do, like, 3 flick movements. Whereas playing on 4,000 DPI, all I do is click the button and, woo! And that was the same with Oni. I would just click the button when I knew I was about to go for a flick, and all of a sudden, woo, I flick, I'm super cracked. But it wasn't like I had to actually get used to playing on that high sensitivity to make up for that. It was literally like, nope, I press button, it gives me that sensitivity, I do flick, I press button to take me back down to low. Yeah, 800 DPI would be really hard to flick. You play on like 100 game in-game sense? What's your in-game sense? I came from first-person shooters, so my shit's always going to be too low. I'm playing 400 DPI and like 10 in-game sense for killer, I think. Like 10 out of 100, so basically 1 out of 10. And even then, it still feels like I'm turning faster than I do in first-person shooters, like when I'm playing Halo. Oops. I'm not paying attention at all. This is why I like Survivor. You don't even have to. You can sit here and talk about random shit. Survivor is that easy. It's like the easiest PvP game I've ever played that itches the scratch of, like, needing the PvP engagement. If that makes sense. You're coming this way? Like Pokemon. 2020 was the only time I ever had enough, because we all were stuck in our apartments. So I was like, what am I going to do? This is how DBD became my main game. I started off with Pokemon. And I was like, I have time to breed Pokemon. And I did have a lot of fun online for about a month. Once I had like my whole ghost team. And well, I had other Pokemon too, but it was like, I was like, I need something more involved than turn-based, personally, you know? So I was playing Fall Guys, because I didn't want something overly, like I wanted something I could chill playing, you know? I was already playing DBD, just very seldom. Because when I had nobody to play with, I would play DBD. Most of the time I had someone to play Halo with, or Destiny with, or Gears of War with, you know. Then 2020, it was like, because I'm in New York, well, I was in New York City, I'm not anymore, but we were shut down. My bar didn't open back up until 2021. Because I bartended in Times Square. So I had that whole fucking year, basically. And change, you know. I gotta turn this down. How do you want it? How do you feel? Oh shit, this is gone. How do you want it? Dude, is this like the biggest dead zone you've ever seen in 2v8? This is 2v8. Where are the 50 million pallets that there always are? They could be all be thrown already though, to be fair. Well, that's the funny thing, Thiago. If you play Killer to win, it's 10 times more stressful than playing Survivor to win. But if you play Killer laid back, it's even less stressful than playing Survivor laid back. Because, like, we were just talking about this with sound. Like, Killers need sound. Like, it helps them more than it helps Survivors. Like, being able to hear a Survivor, like, move in the grass around the corner, and you're like, wait, they're right here, you know? Whereas if you miss that, you might literally lose the game because they got your ruin or some shit like this, you know? But you don't have teammates, so I just have music on when I'm playing Killer. And yes, it affects me negatively sometimes, but at the same time, like, I don't give a shit, though. We were talking about that earlier, too. Like, there's certain maps I really hate playing as on Killer because I always just get annihilated, and there's, like, nothing I can do about it. Unless play in a way I don't like having fun playing. Like Azeroth's Resting Place, Suffocation Pit, Forgotten Ruins, Sanctum of Wrath. Those are all maps where you just have to guard one side. And if you do, well, besides Suffocation Pit, the other three, if you guard one side, it's pretty good for Killer. But if you don't guard one side, it's, like, abysmal for Killer. And that's the problem is, like, I hate just, oh, they made it to halfway mark in the map, I better leave and kick a gen again. You know, like that. I just get so fucking bored doing that shit. So I just commit to a chase and then end up just not doing well, and that's that. But I have more fun. It's like, oh, this guy ran to the other side of the map. Well, I'm going to chase him. No, it's gone. Did I make this? No, I don't. Damn. But that right there is why, I mean, not why, I was more playing Survivor, but it kind of helped me have more fun playing laid back on Killer. Because when you're playing solo queue, if the killer just wants to tunnel the very first hook, like, you're not in communications, you're going to have a rough time, right? Trying to help that solo queue out. Because even if you do, it's like, we'll just go body block. It's like, if I don't know where the solo queue is and I don't know where the killer is, like, you're literally running around the map listening for a chair radius, like. And you could have spent that whole time on a gen just for, oh, there they are, you finally find them 40 seconds later, and then they go down anyway because you're not there, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, solo queue, is always going to be killer-sided. It has to be killer-sided. If you have solo queue not being killer-sided, then they're already fucked against Swifts anyway, but it'd be beyond fucked against Swifts, you know? But,
Some kind of prank?
yeah, GG. I'm going to be live again tomorrow, though. I believe we're doing open lobbies unless somebody asks me to play. Because I want to ask Kelly, but I was thinking with Kelly on Wednesday, maybe. I was thinking with Pally on Friday, if they can, if they're available. Want to play with MLT maybe on Monday. But I was like, maybe I should have some updates, because I want to play with Noob at some point, too. There's a bunch of people I want to play with. My fucking PC crashing during that whole first week just sucks. I'm glad it stopped crashing, though. I'm not complaining. But it was just like, damn it. I wish this was permanent. Killer, depends. On what you mean by hard to play. In comparison to Survivor, yes, in pretty much every way. If in comparison to, like, literally any first-person shooter out there, no. Not at all. Unless you're doing Curve Billy. Curve Billy's really hard. Hug teching Wesker, I used to say as well, but I don't know what they did to hug teching, but they said hug teching is different now. But I don't know exactly what they did to it, to be fair. But I used to think of hug tech, like, because I used to sweat a lot of different ones. Like Halo, we had a bunch of 50s, and, you know, Gears of War had, like, 100,000 kills and shit like that. Destiny 1, after, like, the first year and a half, I was, like, top 500 on the Destiny tracker leaderboards, and, like, 4 different statistics, like, overall kills, KD, win-loss percentage, like, stuff like that. Because I was always playing with a bunch of people. Like, I was really sweaty. I wasn't, like, a competitive tournament winner, so no, I'm not being like, I was a god. No, obviously not. I was just playing pubs online. But in comparison to that, like, here's funny thing. You know, Penguins or Charlie, Moist Critical? He has like 3 videos like this that pissed off a lot of DVD players, and I thought it was hilarious. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of times DVD players haven't played other stuff, and they think DVD is hard, and it's like, yeah, might never want to go play like CSGO or something. I never played CSGO, but I've always heard like that's like a really hard competitive shooter, obviously. Any shooter is going to be hard, I think, mechanically, because it's like no matter what, you're going to have precise aim in a very short time, or they shoot you and you die, you know, and the team loses. But Charlie played some DBD and made 3 different videos where it was just him playing like 2 games, and one was like, DBD is an easy game, and then the next video was like, I'm a master at DBD, because everybody was telling him it's not an easy game, and like, this is what I mean, but like, exactly that. The thing is if you view it as winning, right, even that is up for debate, because if you look at just winning alone, then the game is super killer-sided, and it's like, okay, if like the killers play in one specific way, running like these very specific builds and shit. But that's the thing is, if you're assuming they're playing against Swifts, right? Because those big win streaks, like how long would those win streaks go if every single game they played was against a 4-stack Swift? I don't think they'd get up to 2,000 games long, you know, like personally. But that's the problem, you know. And they can't like make MMR more tight because, you know, because that's what were we talking about in the DVD creator Discord thing? What were we talking about? It was about people knowing comp players, and it was like, but most people don't know comp players, and it's like, what? They're like, they have like 2,000 people watching. I'm like, yes, but there's 50,000 people playing DVD live right now. You know what I mean? Like, and there's like 1 million people a day. You know, like, I was like, this is just me. I was like, but I didn't even know who Ots was until I had like 1,000 hours in the game, and I already was streaming. You know, I'd like just got an affiliate or something, but somebody was coming telling me Odds Darva, and like the only 2 content creators I could have told you, 3. I could have told you Noob3, Monto, and True Talent. That's the only people I could have told you. Because I didn't like go out looking like for that much, you know. But then you start making friends, and you start, you know, meeting people like when you start streaming, and that's how you start meeting a bunch more people. But that's the thing is, specifically when it comes to like MMR and why they can't tighten it up. This is a Halo 2 stat. I know this is like 20 years ago, but in Halo 2 in 1 year, went from being a complete noob to being like a level 35 for one total game, which is, I feel like a level 32 is comparable for like A50 in Halo 3, because you get a lot of cheaters. You had to wait it out. You had to wait 40 minutes for a game to make sure you didn't get a cheater, and then you get a really sweaty game because it's another 4-stack, you know? And you're like, I'm not even warm anymore after waiting 40 minutes to make sure we didn't get a cheater, because there was ways to make sure you didn't get cheaters. You had to wait for box host, but that took forever because you had to keep backing out when you didn't have it. But if you kept backing out, it means they were not going to get host. Somebody on your team would get host, and that helped a lot with dealing with cheaters. But then you'd sit there with box host waiting for people to join, and they joined, but they were cheaters, and they'd back out. They joined and they were cheaters, and they'd back out. You know what I mean? Because they didn't get host, and you're like, they're just sitting there waiting. But the thing was when they asked, like, what was the average level of a Halo player, I was thinking like 25, you know? The average Halo 2 player was level 10. And then in even Halo 3, same thing. Like, me and all my friends are level 50. Like, we all have 50s. We have one friend that doesn't want a 50 because we got some other, like, worse players 250s really easily. And he's like, I don't even want a 50 anymore after that. He was level 48, right? But all the rest of us were 50s with multiple 50s. So when they asked, like, what the average Halo level, what Halo 3 back in 2008, or it was 2009, it was one of the, whichever year they did this, they released this info. And we were all guessing that the average player would be, like, level 45, like a Brigadier, you know? Like, not a 50, but, like, up there. The average Halo 3 player was level 30. And we're like, what? Like, we all thought level 30s were trash. You know what I mean? You're like, they're fucking major grade 2s. They got major grade 2 as the average player. Like, because we're like, dude, they suck. Like, we stop major grade 2s every fucking match. You know? Like, if there wasn't matchmaking, you know what I mean? Because level 30. But that's the thing, is, like, we think of everybody else plays Halo as much as we did, right? Or played that, but Halo was our main game, and our main like gaming was already our main passion, number 1, and then Halo 3 is our main game. So it's our main game of our main passion. This is like a double hitter, right? Most people, like a great majority of people, just play like a little bit, you know. That's why there's 5 MMR brackets, and the top one has the biggest leeway because you got people with 12,000 hours versus people with 1,000. You're making up to like to the top MMR. Less if you're playing killer, but that's the issue, you know. And it's like that's what makes the game such a balancing nightmare too. Because remember, they always be like, Pig has the highest kill rate, and it's like, what? But it's because all the lower MMRs where they would get a trap and they wouldn't even know what to do with the trap, and they would die to the trap going off, and it's like, You know what I mean? That's why balancing the game is like impossible. But it was funny because I just kind of came up in the Dead by Daylight Discord thing, and we were all talking about it, and it was like, yeah, but most people can't even name like a single comp player. But like from a creator standpoint, you're like, there's 2,000 people in there every day. Like how? And you're like, yeah, but you know, most 99% of DBD players don't play DBD every day. I don't even play DBD every day. If we're gonna talk about that, I only play like 5 days a week. You know. But that's what makes it really hard to balance or even picture sometimes. Ooh, Epi, let's go. We'll raid Epi in a minute here. Is he playing Survivor? He's in Tokyo. Either way, I haven't been able to raid him in a minute. Yeah, he is. Let's go. It might be the end of his stream, but holy shit, it might be. Catch him on the way out. But have an amazing night, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. We're doing more open lobbies. Wednesday might be the first day I do killer. I'm gonna see if I can play with like Kelly if Kelly's not available, so I can play with like either MLT or I am this. There's a bunch of people I want to play with, but like I said, I would have, but my PC was crashing before. It's like fuck, and now we have less time to do it. I really just wish that 2v8 was permanent. I know that would cause problems, but if they made it free to play for survivors, that would fix the 2v8 survivor or killer queue, and I feel like it would help a lot with the 1v4 because a lot of people only play killer. Like what I was doing when I started working on those looping guides a lot, it was like. I basically started playing only Survivor because there was a bunch of tiles. So it's like, huh, I need to go loop the same tile like 14 times against all these different killers, even if the tile sucks. But that's what honestly made playing Survivor a lot more interesting. It's like, huh, like there's all these tiles. I really need to find every teeny little different way to try to, it's fun. I just got really carried away playing Survivor, trying to make those guides. And now I have clips for them all and everything. I was like, hey, let's save it for killer. And that's what I've been spending all the blood points on. So like, all the blood points we just got to, I'm spending on Oni, getting him, and then pick another killer, but that's who I'm spending all these blood points on. I want all my killers to basically have like endless amounts of shit without ever having even played them, basically, it's gonna be epic. And a lot of them have a lot of those anniversary things, like 130 games worth of double blood points, plus the other ones like 150, stuff like that. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. It was such a privilege to have friends to hang out with and talk to and play with. Yeah, I am in the stream taglines. I'm gonna be live tomorrow though at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time doing some open lobbies. But have an amazing night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time one more time doing some open lobbies. I'll see you then.